Is the rebuild of the city on target? While the Canterbury Employers Chamber of Commerce says the peak is yet to come, will this still be the case if migrant workers are still living in substandard conditions in this city? Here's Chelsea Daniels.
Demand for overseas workers in Christchurch is showing no sign of slowing, despite recent comments from the Finance Minister suggesting the city's rebuild was at its peak. The Christchurch rebuild has majorly contributed to the country's economy, but Bill English said last month that it's about to dry up. Peter Townsend from the Canterbury Employers Chamber of Commerce disagrees, saying that the regeneration of Christchurch will still present a lot of opportunities.
Well, I think it's a matter of interpretation. If what he was saying was we are not, the local economy is not going to continue to grow exponentially, then he's right. But if he was saying that we are at a peak and we're going to decline economic activity, he's wrong. What will happen is that we will stay very, very busy at a very, very high level of economic activity for a long time.
Immigration New Zealand figures show more than 2,500 visas are linked to the Canterbury rebuild in the past year alone, with over 5,500 work visas issued since July 2011.
There are thousands of migrants in our community assisting with the rebuild. They come primarily from the Philippines, followed by the UK, followed by Ireland, and then a whole lot of other countries involved. We can't measure the ones that come in from Australia, but they're all making a material difference to the rebuild and bringing a variety of cultures, skills and energy to the regeneration of Christchurch.
Peter says that there is still a lot of work to be done and a need of workers at least for the next decade.
There will be intense activity for the next 5 to 10 years, maybe 5 to 7 years, and then there'll be a tapering off as we reach the end of the rebuild. But as I just said, we're 30% into it. We're 5 years down the track. We've got a long way to go.
Henry Jacewell, General Manager of the Christchurch Migrant Centre, says that with the growing number of skilled migrants coming to our city, the more problems we face.
When they do come here, they come to the big companies, but then they find out that that's all they get. They don't get this support coming to a new country from a host that, these what you need to live, where you need to go, what government agencies are there to assist you with social welfare, to assist you with other activities that you need to do, or even immigration for that matter.
He says that migrants are more at risk of being exploited, not only by employers but by landlords.
For them, when they come here living in 3 or 4 people living in a room, for them it's not exploitation necessarily because they're used to living that in their own countries. So they don't actually even realize they're being exploited according to our standards. However, from my point of view, from a Christchurch Migrant Centre point of view, the reason we call the definition of exploitation is because of the living conditions. They're living in cold, damp houses.
Henry says it's not only the difficult housing situation in Christchurch that migrant workers face, but more social boundaries. With the strain of moving to a new country, many struggle with language barriers, but the Migrant Centre is here to help.
We are already doing a lot of capacity building seminars within the community. We are doing a lot of free activities for socially isolated migrants, especially the ones who are mothers and daughters and parents who are at home when the man has gone to work, as they feel are socially isolated. So we are doing a lot of programs for them, for free programs for them to come here and we do free sewing classes, we do free Zumba classes, we do free English classes, so that they can come here not just to learn English or not just to do a Zumba, but actually to intermingle with everyone and feel their sense of community.
More and more migrant workers are going to be coming to Christchurch to assist in the rebuild over the next decade, and Henry says they already see a lot through their doors.
In a month we get around 300 to 400 come through the door for some for information access, where to get help from, which agencies to go to. Obviously some come for sewing classes, some come from Zumba, some come for English, and some just come because they just need to talk to someone.
The city's long-term plan will cement the future work opportunities for foreigners, with construction of the Convention Centre, Central Library and Metro Sports Facility yet to begin. Chelsea Daniels, CTV News.